Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be reviewing Looking for Alaska by John Green. I just finished reading this book about a week ago. I purchased Looking for Alaska after reading Paper Towns because I was just so in love with Paper Towns. And around the same time I started watching Vlogbrothers and everyone, they mentioned Looking for Alaska a few times and I was like, oh god, I need to read this book. I had no idea what was going to happen in it, and I made sure to keep myself completely clueless about the plot because I enjoy the book more if I don't know what's going to happen, obviously. So I have this tiny little book, which looks ridiculous next to my other John Green books, which are an inch taller and an inch wider. Okay, pretty much the plot of this book is this kid who's always played it safe. He goes to this boarding school and decides he's going to let loose a little bit. He meets the colonel in Alaska and Takumi and this girl named Laura. I'm not sure, probably Laura. That's how I read it anyway. He takes risks. He participates in these great pranks. He drinks, he smokes, he does all the stuff he never did. He falls in love with Alaska Young, who is quite a wild child, and she just changes things for him. Okay, let's talk about Alaska for a second. She's pretty cool. Sometimes she's a little over the top. She's crazy. She's spontaneous. She has this huge library, and she calls it her life library, and it's all the books she plans to read throughout her life, so she never has to go without. And I think that's just the best idea, and I probably am going to do that because I buy way more books that I'm going to read anytime soon. So I can totally relate to her in that part. There was quite a few times when I found her really annoying, and I was like, oh my god, Alaska, shut up. Why would Pudge want to help you? You're annoying. Just go away. But she kind of grows on you, no matter how annoying she is, or how ridiculous she is. She bugs me, but I can see how Miles fell in love with her. Pudge and Alaska were cute, I guess, for their... Well, you'll see. Things I liked about this book. I really liked how it was written. It's divided into before and after. As you can see, before. That's the first half of the book. And then after, where does after start? After starts there, about that far in. And I had no idea when I was reading what the event was, that it was before and after. And I made sure I did not skip ahead because I was like, okay, this is exciting. And every chapter, which I guess is a chapter, it's so many days before, and then you get less days before, and you're like, oh, we're getting closer to this thing that's going to be happening, whatever this thing is, and you just get really worked up about what it's going to be. And when I was in the last few days, I was like, oh, maybe this is the event that's going to change things, or maybe this is it. But no, it wasn't. I had no idea until the after what was actually going on. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's surprising. Another thing I liked is how honest this book is. I feel like it's very true to teenagers and humor and the stuff they get into. They had a smoking spot, and I know that's totally, I had a smoking spot too in high school, and not that I smoke, because I don't smoke cigarettes. They bury their alcohol, they hide stuff. The colonel hides his alcohol in his milk, and I thought that was just something some of the guys I know would do, and I just laughed so hard at the colonel. I loved him. He was hilarious. Most of my sticky notes, my orange sticky notes, because I sticky note books when I read them. The orange sticky notes are funny things, and almost every single one of them is the colonel, because he is hilarious. Another thing I really liked about this book is it's totally not censored, and I really like that. I feel like they're not trying to hide anything, and they're not trying to beat around the bush about things that need to be said, and it's just really honest and exactly what I hoped it would be. I think the only thing I didn't like about this book was how long it took me to get into it. I had to force myself through the first 80 pages. I don't know why. I was just completely uninterested. I was like, shut up, Alaska. I don't want to hear you. Just go back to your little life library, read something, maybe come back and tell me something interesting about the book you read, but I really don't want to hear about your problems. But, like, once I got over that little part of just being annoyed with Alaska, I was totally fine. I was like, okay, this is really good. And then once the after started, I was totally into it. I couldn't put it down. I read right through it. I think I finished the after in like a day and a half or something like that. I don't even know. It was just so good. This book is such a good read. You need to check it out. If you like other John Green books or if you watch Vlogbrothers, just give it a try. Okay, just to end this, I'm going to read you my favorite quote from the book, which is an extremely popular quote. I'm sure you've seen it around. So I walked back to my room and collapsed on the bottom bunk, thinking that if people were rain, I was drizzle and she was a hurricane. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you have a book that you'd like me to review or you just think I might like, leave it in the comments and I'll check it out. Bye, YouTube! Oh, hey, before I forget, I'm currently reading Game of Thrones, and once I'm done that, I'll be posting a review. Quick review? It's really fucking good. Okay.